Right. I think it's working now. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll just give a second for, yeah, I think somebody's audio is connecting, but that's all right. I hope you're doing well. We have a little bit of a storm here in Halifax. So, yeah, the weather is not cooperating. I hope you are having a beautiful Tuesday. Um, we're going to start in a seated position for today's class. As always, I encourage you to bring your props as you wish. And it is very important to, I really encourage you to bring a blanket or a cushion underneath your hips in order to help them elevate a little bit here to uh, just allow the thighs to rest down and hips to stay up. All right. Well, last we gave a moment for people to keep connecting. We're going to start connecting with our breath. And I'm going to start today with mudra. Mudra is, there is different types of mudras, but the one that we're going to do today is one with the hand, and it works for different purposes. Mostly it works with for energetically purposes. There can be mudras done with the entire body, mudras done with our gaze, or mudras done with our hands. All right, so this mudra, we're going to practice it today with the hand. It's called Yoni Mudra. And it starts by interlacing the fingers except for the index and thumb. So press your hands together, interlace your fingers, and keep your thumbs and your index fingers touching each other. As we do this, we're going to kind of rotate like separating the palms, pressing the thumbs together, rotate a little bit back until we form this shape. And hopefully you're able to see. It's going to be more or less like this. And we're going to rest it right in in a comfortable place. Hopefully you are seated in your Sukhasana position or an easy seated position with your arms resting on your thighs and your mudra resting on the lap. All right, Yoni Mudra is the one that connects it. Yoni literally means womb, so it connects to the center or the source of creation. As we move through the practice today, I also want to mention that I will be focusing this practice a little bit in three chakras, which are the pelvic floor, the root chakra, Muladhara chakra, and Swadhisthana, which is located right above Muladhara, which is right in between the pelvic floor and the navel. So that's Swadhisthana, the center of creation, our mudra, and the navel center, where the fire is located, our Muladhara, Swadhisthana. I just forgot the name of the third one, but it will come back to me. All right, Manipura. All right, yeah. So please close your eyes while you hold your mudra for a moment. Start connecting with our breath. Start connecting with these 3 points in our body. Muladhara, our root, Swadhisthana, the center of creation, chakra of creativity. It's the element of water. And Manipura, the fire, our navel center, our digestive fire called Agni as well. Take a deep breath in here. Full breath out to side out. And as you connect through those 3 points in your body, maybe start focusing red dots or kind of illuminating your pelvic floor or the base of the spine with a red color, the color of Muladhara Chakra. As we go up into Swadhisthana, it becomes an orange, bright orange, right in between the belly button and the base of the spine. And if we go up a little bit more, we find Manipura, the beautiful yellow color. And as you focus those 3 points in your body, maybe start setting any intentions or any dedications to your practice. Sahana bhavatu, sahana punatu, sahaviryam kadavavahai, etasvinavati tamastu, ahim vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out through the mouth to let it go. Releasing your hands, giving yourself a full stretch in here, raising your hands up into the sky. Take a nice deep inhale. On the exhale, let's twist towards the right hand side. We open the chest. We give a nice massage to the internal organs, supporting the internal fire located in Manipura. Take a nice deep inhale, feeling the spine tall, and a long exhale. Keep your left hand where it is as you start bringing your right hand all the way towards the sky and all the way towards the left hand side. So we find in this twist a little bit of a stretch from the sit bone on your right hand side all the way into the tip of the fingers on your right hand. Take a nice breath in here. We feel how the ribcage expands. Long exhale. Inhale to start coming back to center. Maybe you fly your hands towards the sky and you move all the way into the opposite side. Find your twist first, sitting your spine as tall as possible. Take a nice breath. Full breath out. One more. On the exhale, again, your hand stays on your leg and the other hand travels all the way towards the sky and leaning into the other side. Take a nice deep inhale. Maybe you encourage your gaze to look towards your top palm. If the neck allows, of course, or you can always stay with your gaze down. Take another breath and sit out. So coming back to center, remove any props from underneath your hips. Start walking your hands all the way forward. Try to root down through your sit bones as you keep opening the chest. Maybe you just place your fingertips on the floor. So if you can see that, okay, yeah. Your fingertips on the floor as you try to keep grounding down through the sit bones. So that might look, sometimes it looks like this. We don't want this space happening like right below the sit bones. We want to root down as we walk the hands forward, and we encourage the chest to come forward. Take a nice breath, pressing down with your glutes. Long exhale. Inhale to start coming back to center. Extend your legs in Dandasana. Press your hands on the ground beside you, beside your hips. Point your right toes towards the front of the room. The other foot is active in here. We're gonna work a little bit with the hip flexors. Take a nice deep inhale, keeping your legs long. Start elevating your leg towards the sky. It might not move too much. If you feel your spine is rounding a lot, move your hands further back to keep a nice long spine. Take a nice breath here. Full breath out. One more breath. On the exhale, release to the ground. Let's change sides, pointing your toes on your left hand side. Again, if you need to walk your hands back for a little bit of support, take a nice deep inhale, raising your leg nice and long. Long exhale. Feel how your quads are working in here, how your hip flexors are working a lot into moving the leg up. One more breath. On the exhale, release back down to the ground. Bring your right knee into the chest. Plant the foot on the mat. We're gonna just mimic a little bit of what Marchasana looks like. We might bring the knee into the chest and just holding in with your hands. Maybe you have a little bit more space and you move your torso on the inside of the leg. Keep on pressing the foot on the floor. So so your knee is hugging into the upper arm. Take a nice breath. We're gonna start leaning forward. We're not gonna go too far away here. We're still warming up. Long exhale. One more inhale here. On the exhale, release back to center. Extend your legs. Again, we're gonna point the toes. Place your hands on the ground, sitting in Dandasana. Point your right toes on the ground. We're gonna find a little bit of movement. Raising your leg nice and long. Take a deep inhale. Exhale to move it back down. Inhale, raise it up. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, press up. Feel those legs working. One. Exhale, move it back down just to a hover. Deep inhale, raise it up. Exhale, just to a hover. Last one, we're gonna keep it up. Take a nice deep inhale. Again, keep your hands back if you need a little bit of extra space. Long breath, inhale. Exhale, release, and shake it out. All right, let's go second side. We bring the foot in. The knee is pointing up. As you can see in here, my left sit bone is off the ground, but it is trying to point down towards the floor. The other leg is nice and long. I can hug my leg in here and keep the spine long. Or if I have, of course, a little bit more space in here, I move the torso forward as I pass my shoulder in line with my knee. Take another breath. Full exhale. Last one, inhale. On the exhale, we move back to center, release to the ground. And again, we point those toes on the ground, pressing back your hands. Take a nice deep inhale, raise your leg up. On the exhale, move it back down just to a hover. Deep inhale, bring it up. Exhale, lower down. Keeping the spine long, take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale to lower. Last one, we're gonna stay. Take a nice breath. Feel how the leg is working in here. Take another breath. On the exhale, we release. And we shake that out. All right. So let's bring the knees into the chest. Give ourselves a little squeeze in here. We have the option to stay, to hold on to the legs from behind. Maybe we extend in here, coming into Navasana. We take a nice breath. We can stay in here, holding on to the legs, or maybe we activate the core a little bit more, activating Manipura, the internal fire. Take another breath. Maybe you release your hands and turn your palms towards the sky. Let it shake. Take one more in. On the exhale, cross those legs. Plant the hands. Step back to your tabletop. And as you come to your tabletop, we're going to take a couple of circles in here towards the right hand side, pressing your hands on the ground, warming up the wrists, moving to one side, moving to the other and reverse. As you start coming back to center, make sure your hands are pressing on the ground right underneath your shoulders, your knees in line with your hips. Take a nice deep breath in as you raise your right leg behind you. On the exhale, press your hands away from you, making sure you're not collapsing here. Take a nice breath, your toes up at 6 o'clock. Maybe you stay, maybe you bring your other arm, opposite arm forward. Bend your right knee, point your toes towards the ceiling, rotate the other arm to connect with the inside of your foot. If this doesn't happen for you, maybe bring your hand to your hip, and this is exactly the same. We're working with the rotation of the arm and we're working with the lift of the leg. If you got the foot, press your foot against your hand and your hand against your foot. Take another breath. Exhale it out, keeping the balance, activating Muladhara, our root chakra. One more breath. Exhaling it out, release, keep the leg and hand up. On the exhale, squeeze it in, connecting knee to elbow. Deep inhale to reach. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, squeeze it. Last one, inhale, lengthen. Exhale to squeeze and stay for a nice deep breath in, full cycle of breath. Exhale it out. Release knee and hand to the ground. Open knees towards the sides. Bring your hips down into your child's pose. I encourage you in here to work with your hips. If your child's pose is normally a little bit less wide, I encourage you to try it out and bring your knees a little bit wider this time to give a little bit of opportunity for your hips to stretch. Of course, if this feels nice in your practice today. Take another breath. Exhale it out. Pressing hands down, start coming back to center, coming back to your tabletop. So let's go to the other side, raising the left leg behind you. Toes at 6 o'clock, pressing those hands on the ground, activating those arms on the ground. Take a nice breath, the spine is long. Maybe you reach with the opposite hand. Again, maybe you stay, maybe you bend the knee, pointing toes towards the ceiling, and you rotate the arm either to grab the hip or to grab the foot. Wherever you are in here, keep your spine as long as possible, your chest opening in here. Take a nice breath. Full exhale. Keep the leg up. On the exhale, release, extending leg and hand towards the front. On the exhale, squeeze it in. Deep inhale to reach. Exhale to squeeze. Inhale to lengthen. Find your balance. Exhale, squeeze it in. Last one, inhale, lengthen. Exhale to squeeze, and we stay for a full cycle of breath. Compressing into the core. Take another in. On the exhale, plant hand and knee on the ground. Tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, coming to your downward facing dog. Take another breath. And out. And we take a moment in here to arrive in this pose to really press down into the hands, to send the hips back, to bend the knees if necessary so the spine is as long as possible. Take another breath. Full exhale. On your next inhale, raise your right foot behind you. On the exhale, plant that foot in between the hands. The back still moves down. Virabhadrasana A. Bring your hands towards the sky. Keep your chest open in here. Take a nice deep inhale. Full exhale. Maybe you sink your hips a little bit lower, bending your front knee. Take another breath. Exhaling it out. Maybe you stay in here. Option 2, find cactus arm, or option 2, wrap your hands behind you, clasping the hands behind you, opening the chest a little bit in here. Take another breath here. We're not going into humble warrior. We're going to move the back heel up, coming into high runner's lunge. We're going to lean forward with the torso until we find that the front leg is carrying 60 or 70% of my weight. A little bit more, maybe 80. Start coming all the way up until you come into your warrior 3. With your leg up, your torso open. If your hands are not collapsed, clasped, maybe you bring your hands towards the side. Keep your foot pointing down. Take another breath. On the exhale, plant your foot beside the other and fold. If you want, you can bring your feet a little bit wider this time. If you got your hands and you need to relax a little bit the shoulders in here, I encourage you to move your hands towards the sky. If this is still too much, your hands can move to your hips. Take another breath, let your head hang in here. Exhale it out. Root down through your feet, come all the way up. Tamasthiti, hands by your side. All right. So let's find a little bit of balance in here before we move to the second side. All right, we find hands to the hips. We move the weight into the left foot, raising up the right leg, the right knee. Take a nice deep inhale here. On the exhale, we move the knee towards the side. We try to keep the hips where they are. We just move the knee here. And here we can find a connection of the foot with the leg. It can be the inner thigh, the inner calf. Your toes can stay on the ground if you need a little bit of extra support in here. Maybe hands move to the center of the chest. Maybe you encourage and challenge the balance, bringing your hands to the side. Maybe you move your hands up and interlace your fingers, pointing index and thumb towards the sky. Finding Kali Mudra. Take another breath in here, wherever you are, finding your balance. Last one, inhale. Exhaling it out. Releasing your hands, releasing your foot, shaking that out. Bending your knees, sitting low, moving back with your hips. Bringing your weight towards your heels. Utkatasana, keep your chest open. Take another breath in here. Exhale, sit a little bit lower. Hands to the center of the chest. Last one, inhale, sit a little bit lower in this one. Extend your legs, plant your hands on the ground, halfway lift in here. Plant your hands to step back into your plank. Bring your knees to the ground, all the way to the floor. Find 3 cobras in here. Inhale to lift your chest. Exhale to lower back down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale to lower. Last one, inhale up. Exhale, send your hips up and back, coming to downward facing dog. And as we move into our down dog, Try to find that point when you find the stillness that you need in this pose. Take another breath. Exhale it out. On your next inhale, raise your left leg behind you. On the exhale, plant that foot in between the hands. The back heel comes to the ground, setting up Virabhadrasana A. Take a nice deep breath in here. On the exhale, maybe you sink a little bit lower, keeping the back leg straight. Take another breath. Exhaling it out. Again, maybe you go all the way behind you with your hands interlaced, or your hands on your hips, or your hands on a cactus shape. Wherever you are, start moving the back heel off the ground, activating those quad muscles on the back of the leg. And again, we start feeling how those hip flexors start working and stretching here. Take another breath here. Maybe you move your torso forward, keeping your chest open, feeling how the front leg starts to carry that weight until we find our warrior three. Lifting the back leg off the ground, finding your balance. If you fall, doesn't matter, come back up. Take another breath. Exhale it out. Strong standing legs, last one, inhale. On the exhale, plant that foot beside the other and fold. Option in here to grab opposite elbows. Lift your head down. Take another breath in here. Exhale it out. Maybe you sway in here, letting your head relax. Take another breath. Rooting down through your feet, coming all the way up. Hands by your side. Beautiful. Let's bring our hands again to our hips, closing up this little flow. Pressing all the weight into your right foot, lifting your left knee off the ground, finding a little bit of balance in here. Find your balance first before we move. And as you find your balance, try to square your hips. And notice in here, as you move the leg to the side, notice if your chest or your torso moves with the leg. All right, trying to move only the leg to the side as you find that sweet spot where you can place your foot on the inner thigh, inner calf, the foot on the ground again. It might look different on this side. Maybe you bring your hands to the center of the chest, concentrating in here. I was reading yesterday that this pose, Vrikshasana, it's supposed to be held in minimum 2 minutes. All right, we're not going to stay here for that long. We don't have that much time. But yeah, in urban mythology, there is belief that some yogins in the Himalayas, they hold these poses for years. Take another inhale here. Exhale it out. Start coming back to center, to release to the ground. Of course, some poses, they feel like you stand them for years, right? All right, let's slow. Deep inhale to reach your hands towards the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Lengthen your spine. Inhale. Plant the hands to step back. Find your plank. With knees or toes, lower down. Find your back and inhale. Exhale, push back into your child's pose. And as you push back into your child's pose, again, I encourage you to open your knees a little bit wider this time as you come with your hips towards your heels. Take another breath. Exhale it out. One more inhale here, moving down your chest towards the ground. Long exhale. As you start coming back to center, finding your seated posture with your legs facing forward. sitting again in Dandasana. All right. Let's work a little bit with Janu Shashasana and Parivrita Janu Shashasana just to finish this openness of the hips. We saw balance with Vrikshasana, which is the root chakra. We saw opening of the hips at the beginning, and now, which is Svadhisthana. We saw a little bit of core as well, which is also reflected in Manipura. So for Janu Shashasana, we bring the knee in to the side, we close the knee joint, we plant the foot on the inside of the thigh. This is exactly the same shape we encounter in tree pose in Vrikshasana. We're sitting down, it's easier. Take a nice deep breath in as you extend your spine. On the exhale, fold forward over the leg. You can plant your hands on the ground and keep moving with the torso forward, leading with the heart. Try to keep this foot active by pressing down with the heel. Keep on pressing the other foot on the inner thigh. Take another breath in here. Maybe you hold on to the leg, to the ankle, to the foot, to your wrist. Take a nice inhale as you lengthen the spine a little bit more. On the exhale, maybe you fall forward a little bit deeper. Take another breath. Exhale it out. Inhale to start coming back to center right away. We move. In here, we stay with the legs where they are. We move the torso towards the right hand side as we find the left hand finds your right knee or your right thigh. The other hand comes back for support, Parivrita Anjaneyasana. Option to stay in here. If you have a little bit more deep rotation, of course, you can take your right hand behind you, coming into half bind in here on your thigh, keeping your chest as open as possible. And of course, if you have that rotation, you're able to keep that rotation without holding on to anything. You can start bringing your hands towards the sky and leaning towards the extended leg. So we find that same stretch we found at the beginning and in this different posture. Take another breath in here. Full exhale. Try to keep rotating your torso towards the sky. Take another breath. Exhale it out, coming back to center, releasing back, extending your legs and shaking that out. Find reverse table, a variation for Purvottanasana. Hands pressing behind you. The fingers are pointing towards the glutes. The feet move to press on the ground. The knees are pointing up. As we press the hands on the ground, the feet are pressing on the ground. We start elevating the hips, and it results into our reverse table. Take another breath. Keep your feet and hands pressing down. Maybe you keep your chin tucked in here, or maybe you let your head release back, opening the chest and the throat chakra as well. Take another breath. Exhale it out. Moving all the way down. Extending your leg, bringing the opposite foot in. That's your left foot. Moves into Janu Shashasana, second side. So that is your foot pressing, your left foot pressing on your right side. Maybe you extend, or maybe you keep your hands and you walk your hands forward, keeping your torso as long as possible while you move. Take a nice deep inhale, rooting down through the sit bones. Again, encounter that movement of pressing down through the sit bones as you find your length in the spine. So there is a lot involved in here. There is external rotation of your head. You're bending forward. You're stretching the back of the body, and you are pressing with your roots down as well. Take another inhale here. Exhale it out. Inhale to start coming back to center, and we find our twist on the second side. We move the torso towards the left hand side this time. Your right hand holds onto your right leg. And here your hand can stay back for support, keeping your spine as long as you can. The other foot is active. Keep pressing your heel on the ground. Take another breath here. Full exhale. Maybe you encourage yourself to move the arm towards the sky and start leaning towards the opposite side. And nice massage to those kidneys and to the internal organs, supporting your digestive and reproductive system as well. Take another inhale here. Full exhale. Keep your chest as open as you can. One more. When you finish that exhalation, moving back to center, releasing back, extending your legs. Option in here to repeat what we just did with our reverse table with your knees bent, or we explore a little bit with Purvottanasana. Purvottanasana, or also called reverse plank. Again, your hands same position, moving back. The feet press on the ground, and what we are going to do in here is many people just float the hips up, and that brings a lot of stress into the lower back. What you want you to feel in here is like pressing your feet forward as you move your head back. So that brings a nice long shape in a line, bringing your head up. Opening the chest. Maybe you let your head release if that feels fine. Take another breath in here. On the exhale, release, head to the ground. Bring your knees into the chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Maybe I encourage you to come back to Navasana for a little bit of the last bit of core work. Your hands holding on with to your legs, with your hands extended, maybe as you let it shake. Maybe here you stay, or maybe you go all the way down just to a hover. And as you go down to a hover, maybe you squeeze your fingers into your palm, squeeze your eyes, squeeze everything you got. Take a nice deep breath in. On the exhale, release all the way to the ground. Finding your relaxation posture in your reclined position. Option is there to keep your hands up towards the sky. Option is there to hold on to your mudra, interlacing fingers, pressing index and thumb together, coming back to Yoni Mudra, with your mudra resting on your lower belly. Take a couple of breaths in here as you let your body start relaxing. Wherever you are, however you chose to rest today, start bringing awareness to those 3 points But we just worked on our body. Muladhara, root, Swadhisthana, center of creation, and Manipura, our fire, the city of jewels is also called. And as you concentrate on Muladhara, just picturing at the base of your spine, on the pelvic floor, a bright red color, coloring this area in your body. As you bring your awareness into your lower belly, Swadhisthana, a beautiful orange color illuminates this part of your body, center of creation. As you start moving up into Manipura, your internal fire, all the digestive system is located in this chakra. Beautiful yellow, like the sun, yellow color. Ambakam yayamaye sugande pushtivardhanam urvarukami pavandanam nityurmuksheyamarata om triyambakam yayamaye sugande pushtivardhanam Urvarukami Bhavandana Nityurmukshyamarata Om Asatoma Sattamaya Tantoma Yoitrirgamaya Mrityurma Hamritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Whenever you feel ready, start finding some movement on your hands, on your feet. Of course, if you feel happy in your Shavasana, you're welcome to stay as long as you want. If you're ready to invite some movement, to move forward, start finding your fetal position on your right hand side. Take your time as you move, rest your head on your arm. Take your time and take a moment to recognize your presence in your room, the place where you are. Start finding your way into your seated position, Sukhasana, with your eyes closed and your hands by your heart in Namaskara Mudra or Anjali Mudra. Take a moment to find gratitude for your practice, for your breath and your movement. Rub your palms together and cover your eyes. As you rub your palms one more time to cover that area of your body we just worked on, the three chakras, Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a beautiful rest of your day. See you soon, guys. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. And I just remind you all that we're gonna have class every Tuesday from now on through the summer. I think it's gonna get moved to Monday or Wednesday next week because you guys have something going on Tuesday. I will talk to Ali and of course she will let you know. All right. Have a beautiful day.